Hello and welcome to another episode of Ofacez. I'm your host, Mr. Mocha, hanging out on the cutting board. The cutting board is a segment, where you can get a perspective, a male's perspective from males in the lifestyle. And hanging out with me today is my little brother, aka Manicorn Q. Little bro, what you got on your mind today?
Your wife is not as hot as you fucking think she is, man. Let's get to it.
Oh wow,
We being real or are we being fake? Let's get.
Wait, you talking about my wife?
No, period. No, anybody, man. This smoke is for everybody.
So
in the lifestyle.
So people, so you gotta explain that, man. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go call Mrs. Mocha and tell her you said you talking about her directly.
There's a fine balance between, listen, you appreciate a good looking woman, and we understand that, like, especially as a bull, understand that you want to show your wife off the best way possible. But when that gets to a point where it's like, I'm not ever going to grovel for your wife, man. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And that's cool. Some dudes may want that. And matter of fact, some women may want that. But I just think that
what you mean grovel for the wife, man? What does that mean?
Man, jump through all these fucking hoops. Like, at the end of the day, this is an attraction thing, man. And now, for some people, I understand that attraction isn't always physical. But it's the majority of attraction. And mental is the other part of it, right? So if we have a conversation, or I have a conversation, this is me personally, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm a single male, or even if I'm not a single male, if I'm in a relationship, in a lifestyle, and I see something I like, the natural process is to go up to the husband, speak with the wife, get a good sense of the vibes they are. Oh, man, you're cool. I'm cool, too. And then, hey, if attraction is mutual, we make something happen, right? Mm-hmm. But when I feel like I have to, we all know when somebody's trying to make themselves, make people jump through the hoops. Like, I've been to a million parties at this point. And when it's like you're looking for people to act like they're meeting the president when they're about to meet your wife, they want a whole background check and all the other things. It's a turn off for me.
All right, wait a minute. So what you saying is that you feel like a husband ain't entitled to ask you some questions before you start taking his wife to Pound Town? What you mean?
Yeah, no, he 1,000% is entitled to ask me some questions. But is he entitled to me writing him a dissertation? No. No, and I can tell you firsthand, I'm not fucking writing a dissertation on the spot just to fuck your wife. She's not hot enough for that.
Okay, so what's the real
tell a woman hot enough for that yet?
All right, so tell me what's your point A to point B? You first start talking to a couple. What's realistic?
To me, realistic is, okay, let's just say, give me a scenario in a club party.
All right, you're at a club. You're at a sex club.
Okay.
The husband's walking around with his wife, and you walk up and you say hi. Okay.
So yeah. So if I walk up and I see someone I walk up and I say hi. Typically, the conversation with the husband is, "Hey man, how are you doing?" Just fodder, right? At that point, and trying to understand what kind of man he is, or more so just checking to see that the guy's comfortable with me saying, "Hey, I would love to approach your wife if all falls in line. If she thinks I'm attractive and if you're okay with it, I would like to play with your wife tonight." That's how a conversation goes. Now, that conversation is typically about 5 minutes, man. Anything more than that. Now, it could be 10 minutes. It could be, because it depends on the type of event you're at. You can be drinking, partying, whatever. And in most cases, the best husbands, they'll say, hey, if they think that you'll fit along the lines of what their wife likes, they will coach you up on the things that she like. Mm-hmm. That is cool, because now you're trying to help me help provide your wife with the best experience for the night. But when it's like, oh yeah, she wants you to do this and do that and do this and do that and do this and do that. I'm like, yo, I'm not a fucking slave. I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting it's too many women out here for that, bro.
You don't want him to tell you how to fuck his wife?
No, I didn't say that. I want him to tell me how to fuck his wife. I don't want him to tell me how to fuck.
Remember that? Remember that time?
Fuck. Yeah.
Pound.
Yeah, and then now here's the catch with that too.
No, I'm talking about the time that you know I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where things got stinky.
Warn me about that. You want to tell me some shit? Tell me that. Yo, tell me that. So I can say no. So I can abort mission. Right? Tell me that your wife is not going to smell the greatest so I can abort mission. Right? That's what I mean by that, bro. It's like let me tell you something. There's a sense of entitlement in when some of these things, and I feel like, and let me correct myself and let it be known, we're not entitled to shit, right? Just because you're at a party and you see a hot woman and you think you're attractive, you're not entitled to shit, right? I've been to parties and went home and didn't fuck anything, but when there is
have you ever had like a woman come up to you and be surprised that you didn't want to play with her? Yeah.
No, well, let me see. Because all right, I'm kind of pussy when it comes to this. Once I realize that I don't want to play with somebody, I'll avoid the fuck out of them for the whole night. I don't want to kick you with your skate with you, nothing. I don't want to talk with you, none of that shit. It's high and by and I'm out of there.
Well, what if she keeps pursuing you? What do you do?
Oh shit. Man, I've never had one happen that bad, like at a party, in close spaces. I did have.
How do you tell a woman, a wife, where the husband and the wife are both trying to get you to play with her and you don't want to? What do you do?
It's just not my thing.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
You say it to her?
I don't say it to her. I say it to her husband.
But what if she keeps coming back at you because she don't believe the husband?
God damn. Then I had to have a hard conversation, dog. Like, hey, hold on. I'm not to do this. I'm this kind of guy. I'll tell you this. I'm going to do my best because we're humans and I understand that everybody comes from different spaces. Everybody's confident in different ways. Me personally, I'm a straight shooter. I want somebody to tell me shit straight. However, most people are not like that. So I'll try to say things as easy as possible until you keep pushing. Then I'm going to give you the straight shot. Hey, the attraction isn't mutual. That's about as clean, as dirty as I can get.
What if she say why?
Now, I'll say be careful. My next question goes, we being real or we being fake?
Wait a minute.
Are we being real or we being fake?
Wait, so you going to wait. So if she asks you, why aren't you attracted to me?
Mm-hmm. My next question, are we being real or we being fake?
And if she says, let's be real.
I'm going to say whatever it is. Why? You looking at a dude who told a woman that I used to date before, and then we started messing around again, and she was bigger. And I was like, oh. And I didn't know how to tell her that. And then I said, you know what? I just got to come out and tell you. I can't do it. Can't do it.
You told her you couldn't do it?
I couldn't do it.
Why couldn't you do it?
Because it was bigger than what I like, man.
Did you tell her you couldn't do it because
she was big?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. After she did exactly what you just said. Originally, I said, hey, you know, I just don't think this will work. And, you know, I'm sorry that, like, you know, we came down this aisle or whatever, but, and then, so from there, she said, okay, you know, I mean, she didn't say okay, but she was a little upset about it, but she was trying to figure out why. And I was just like, yeah, you know, I just don't think that we're in alignment in certain things, and I think that there's a better guy out for you. I'll shit on myself first before I'll shit on you. Right? I don't think I'm the guy for it.
But there is the possibility that you're looking for in a
man I don't have. Right? But then once you get to, no, I need to know. Okay. Then I told her. And then I felt really like shit afterwards. She's like, I told her and she's like, yeah, it's just so crazy because you're such a workout guy and I just thought that you would, like, you know, encourage me to lose. And I'm like, listen. And now I have another decision to make. I could either say how I really feel or I could just let it go. Now, I have been trying to let it die.
Wait. So first, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
After telling her she was fat.
I did not say she was fat.
After insinuating that she was fat.
Bigger than what I liked.
After insinuating that she was fat.
I did not say she was fat. It was bigger than what I liked.
After insinuating that she was too fat for you.
Bigger than what I like.
You after that you continued like that wasn't honest. Then you had to give her another level of honesty.
No, I thought she was going to end it. Then I thought she was going to be like, "All right, I can respect that," and keep it pushing. But some people want you to put the knife in and twist that motherfucker, man. They really do. So she was like, she goes into her dissertation on what she thought I was going to do because you know how I am about working out and shit and about living healthy. Period. And then, so now I had to have a conversation with her. It's like, hey, our health is the most important thing we have. If you didn't do this shit on your own, ain't shit, I can make you do a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to drag you through workouts and shit on your own. That's something you have to commit to on yourself. And then I can help you in that journey, but I can't make a journey up for you that you didn't see for yourself. Because if you had saw it for yourself, you would have did it. Right?
This is true.
Come on, man. You gotta have some big discipline and know what you fuck with it and what you don't fuck.
So first you told the woman that she was fat, so you didn't want to have sex with her. I just want to be clear. So first you told the person. So you told her, and I'm paraphrasing here. I'm paraphrasing.
That's a hell of a prayer.
Well, listen. I said you said she's fatter than you like. You said that she's bigger than you like. Was she taller than you like?
Nah.
Okay, wait, no.
Width wise.
Was she brought?
Horizontal.
So
horizontally.
So what you did was you told her that she's fatter than you like, and then when she asked you for some encouragement, at that point you said, if you haven't already encouraged yourself,
hello,
I'm not going to encourage you. This is what you're telling me?
All right, the last part I agree with. You don't encourage yourself. Ain't shit I can do for you.
So you don't like my paraphrasing?
Nah, your paraphrase is fucked up, man. You paint me in a bad light. Nah, here's the thing. I'm strong on this. I can't. You ever heard us say like, be careful hanging around negative people? Mm-hmm. Because a positive person always thinks that they can help someone negative be positive. But what you realize is you can't help someone who's negative be positive because they are already in a state. They have to make a conscious choice to want to be positive first, and then you can jump in. If they're a negative person and you just say, "Hey, I'm gonna make you positive," all you're gonna do is get a bunch of negative feedback to positive shit that you're giving them. So what that does in turn is it creates a battle that I think a lot of people don't never think about down the line. It creates a battle of a person who you're supposed to be helping, so to speak, right? And they don't necessarily want to do that. So now you guys are constantly clashing heads, and I'm just not the kind of guy to do that. I'm not going to spend a shit ton of time on helping anybody do something that they really don't want to do. Because for me, if there's anything that I really want to do, I'm going to go about all the ways that I feel like I can try to on my own to figure out how to do it. And I wholeheartedly believe in you typically run into people that's in alignment with what you're doing when you're actively out going after what you want to do. And so that's my biggest thing with that. Like, I don't want to shit on anybody, but, I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. And so with the things that I don't like, I'm not willing to, I know enough about myself at this point, I think, that I'm not willing to compromise those things just because I want to make somebody else feel better. However, I'm not going out my way to also shit on somebody too. So there is that.
Okay, so I'm not trying to say you took a hot steamy shit on a lady, but, I felt like you gave it a little dump.
It felt like I did too shit when I did it. I was like, damn, I felt like the worst human being in the world because I really cared about the person. But I couldn't hide the fact of my attraction. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we found these things out in real time where I seen her get naked. I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my God.
Have you ever, within the lifestyle, have you ever been in a situation where how often have you found yourself in a situation where you talked to somebody, you saw somebody online, and you met them in person, mm-hmm. and they were significantly different than you expected?
Mm.
How do you deal with that?
I can honestly say I have not run into anybody that I've talked to online that didn't look like what they look like online. And I only say that because, you and I, we talk all the time, damn near every day. And we know the signs. We know the signs. If I see ass shots really up close, no belly shot, no upper body shot, no...
Only body parts individually?
No, I'm already kind of weary. All right? I'm already kind of weary. I'm watching how the arms is, I'm looking for the cankles.
Oh, my God.
I'm looking for the signs.
You're looking for the cankles,
I'm looking for the signs, man. I'm looking for the signs. Because one thing I know about women, and correct me if I'm wrong, if a woman feels that she has something that is fucking phenomenal, she's going to show it. If a woman thinks she got nice tits, she's gonna show some nice tits. If she thinks she got a nice ass, she's gonna show off a nice ass. If she's proud of her mid area, she's gonna show it off. If she's not, I haven't met any woman who's proud of their bodies that was just like, oh no, I just don't want to. I don't want to post it. I don't want to. In the lifestyle, at least.
That's true.
Have you seen it or no?
No. I definitely. I believe that because I feel like like when I'm looking at like a woman's picture. Like, I know I get annoyed, like, if I'm looking at a profile picture and she's covering her belly with her hand. Let me see it. You want me to come fuck it? Let me see it. Or, chances are I'm going to be okay with it. Like, if I'm looking at you and you got a little pooch, I mean, I'm okay with a little pooch. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I would much rather you show me the pooch now or show me whatever you're trying to hide than I show up and my dick don't cooperate.
Yeah, because here's the thing with that. Because I know people gonna listen to this and be like, oh, this dude's asshole.
You are.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really a nice guy. I really am. I'm really am. But the truth is this, would you rather a guy? And I would love to hear people like a poll on this. Would you rather a guy tell you what he don't like about you, or would you rather just say when he realizes that it's something he don't like, to just fall back and not shit on your confidence? Because somebody else out there might like what the fuck you have. It's just not me.
Yeah.
It's just not me. And I'm also, a lot of people are willing to compromise on shit they don't like. That also is not me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just a thing for me. And so when and it's important to know also, on the reverse side of that, I think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to show up representing the pictures, the everything that you see online, right? I'm going to show up looking crazy, right? It's easy to look at this from the other side and go, oh, this dude's an asshole. But it's like, imagine if I did that to you. Imagine if I showed up, I'm ripped on the pictures and all this shit, and I show up keg belly. You done got wet off of a fantasy with a guy, ripped to shreds, and now I show up looking like the Michelin Man. Yeah. You gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And ain't no chick I could be with that could convince you to be like, yo, fuck him. You be like, no. And that's what these husbands be doing when they think their wives are hotter than what they are. They'll try to push them on you. Oh, yeah, she's this or she's that. Or they'll do the whole, there's two different types that I see a lot. The overseller feels like we're talking to a used car salesman when he's trying to pitch his wife to me.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, oh, yeah, she want to get it in the ass. She want to get it in the throat, get jammed in the mouth. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, well, what she look like? We got to get, at some point, you're going to have to tell me what she look like. When I catch you leading with all the perks, but not the product, perks of the product, that's like saying a car drive real fast, good on gas, get 100 miles to the gallon. And you're like, oh, okay, what it look like? And it's the ugliest shit you ever seen. Right?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna do it. So it's the same thing for me with that. Like, and then not to put myself on some pedestal like I'm just God's gift to this earth, because I'm not. But at the same time, this thing is it's too plentiful and it's too big and it's too big of a world for you to settle for doing some shit you don't want to do. Mm. And I'm not doing that.
So when you say the husbands, mm-hmm. when you're talking about the husband, that your cord keeps hitting the mic. So when you're talking about the husbands, like, I know I've always talked about my interaction with husbands, and like to me, I feel like there should literally be a class for husbands. Like there should be a fucking class for husbands. You know, like I know I'm very honest with my wife. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm honest to my wife at the detriment of my peace within the house. You know, Mrs. Mocha and I pissed her off because she posted a photo that was an old photo. And God, I hope she's not listening to this right now.
She definitely is.
She's definitely lying.
She definitely is.
Yeah. So she posted a photo, and I looked at the photo, and I was like, hey, why are you posting that photo? That photo was from 10 years ago. You're fucking catfishing. And she looked at me like she wanted to stab me. But I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. If you're going to post a photo that old, say it's a throwback photo, don't do that. Mm-hmm. Because I think you're attractive, and I think that there's going to be a lot of people who are attracted to this version of you right now. Mm-hmm.
He's a wordsmith.
I mean...
You're a wordsmith. I'm going to do you like how you did me. So basically you told her, you don't look shit like what you look like back then.
I told her after
post some new shit.
I told her that after she got agitated.
Because you all right now.
No, I told her exactly what you just said, you know, after she got agitated with what I said. And I'm like, hey, me and you sit down and we talk about this all the time, and you're fucking catfishing. Knock it off. All right? Because if you just represent who you are, there's going to be a bunch of guys who are going to be looking for exactly what you are. Mm-hmm. So, you know, oh, well, I'm self-conscious about it. Good, show it. Because there's somebody who's going to jack off to it. But the worst thing you can do is post some shit, and then I see you in real life, and then I'm going to go back to my wife and be like, so this bitch. Because don't be that person.
And I'll say this, too.
Most husbands are not brave enough to do that.
Because there's a misconception in the world that men will fuck anything. I think a lot of men will, and I don't want to say that it's, I think a lot of men will fuck a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. However, I'm not one of them.
Well, no, I'm gonna compound on that. Men will fuck every woman is some man's fantasy.
Facts.
All right, you could be a woman with one arm, and you're some guy's fantasy. You can be a woman who. Anything you could think of. I mean,
that made me think of an old joke.
Like, I mean, like think about it. Like there is
leg, Eileen.
Yeah, I mean, there's fetishes for chicks with 6 toes, 3 titties. You know,
to me,
amputee. So the thing is this: every woman is very, very fuckable to somebody.
Facts.
So since you are extremely fuckable to somebody, and not just somebody. Just like you are some dude's fantasy, the type of dude who you want to fuck the most, there's a guy out there who you are his fantasy. Mm-hmm. So just be who the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. You know, don't, like we were looking, me and little bro looking on SDC earlier, and there's a thing now with somebody put a picture of a celebrity's body. And then you click on it, and it's something completely different.
And then he rolled out his fucking undesirable ass wife. Let's get to it, man. You sit up here tiptoeing around and shit.
Hey, man.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Hey, listen, you going hard in the paint right now.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Let's really talk about this. So, all right, I'm not going hard in the paint. You think I am, but I'm not. So let's put this let's put this in other perspective. On video, I got a 13-inch dick on picture. And I show up, right? I done did some editing or some shit to the pic. Dick looks wider than normal, looks longer than normal, and you thinking to yourself, shit, I want some of that. And then I show up, and I'm half of what the fuck I look like online. That's the same thing, dog. I owe it to you to not do that to you. And I don't understand how people get so mad when they do that to people. It's like, yo, if you think that, listen, and I always say this to anybody around me, if you think that words will hurt you, somebody telling you how they feel about things, imagine you being in my face and I'm rejecting you sexually because I didn't know what was about to be presented in front of me and I don't like it. And now you're seeing that rejection to your face. Most people, period, and correct me if I'm wrong, they don't deal well with controversy. They don't deal well with addressing shit head on. So to say that if you can't even handle it verbally, when I'm in your face and I'm telling you and I'm looking at you eye to eye and I'm like, yo, I'm not doing this. That's going to hurt way worse. You would much rather me say, yo, this is not my type of thing.
But what's strange is, I'll tell you this, and this actually goes both ways. I have talked to a bunch of guys, and I've been one of those guys who've gone on a date, got there, she wasn't what I thought she was, and I suffered through it. Mm-mm. And
my dick
I
will kill
know.
me.
Well, now keep in mind, I'm different now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this. I'm doing this for a long time, But then I've also talked to lots of ladies because, there's a lot of catfishing ass dudes out there. There's dudes out there who be showing, they show up and they 5'4". Your picture somehow got you looking 6'3". And like you said, me and Mrs. Mocha, we start having these things where, we be looking at guys for her. And she be like, oh, that's just an angle. His dick's not that big. I'm like, your thing looks huge. Because I didn't know about angles.
I'm a horrible picture taker.
Take a picture of it.
I'm a horrible picture taker.
Man, I mean...
I've had women tell me that. It's like, oh, my God. When a woman tells you, oh, my God, you're so much more handsome in person. Oh, my God, you're so... Oh, my God, you're like, oh, damn. Here I was thinking my
picture that bad?
Here I was thinking my picture was great. You're like, God damn.
Well, listen, I mean, I'll tell you what. At least your abs show up good on picture, okay? Like, you got the 12-pack on picture.
Yeah, but, man, you got to have other shit, too, man. And... So that's what I mean by that, and I also mean by like with the topic being your wife's not as hot as you think she is. It's for the guys out here that are doing all. Listen, I don't knock, and I actually appreciate, and I love the fact that you love your wife that much. But you have to understand that we didn't marry her; you did. Apparently, and that's the high. Listen. Marriage is the highest honor you could ever give to a woman or to a man. Is you saying, I'm committing my life to you. I like you so much. I love you so much that I'm committing my life to you. I ain't committing my life to your lady. So you may think she's God's gift to this earth. I might think she need to lose a couple pounds.
Yeah. My one of my favorite messages is, this is your lucky day. My wife likes
when I hear that bullshit, I'm out.
Yeah, I just deleted the message.
I'm out. Or when I hear a dude try to like give me like a secret, what's like a FBI message on his wife. Yo, like, look, we don't normally, we don't have anybody, and I want you to come in and don't say shit. Just do this, do this, do this, and do this. I'm out. I'm out. Because sex and attraction, contrary to a lot of people's belief, it's not about you constructing what you want. It's about a real interaction between people. Mm-hmm. It's that interaction that when we meet each other and I'm smiling and you're smiling, we're joking and we're this and that, and it's like, I would fuck you in real life. But now I know that because we're in a lifestyle event, that the ability to fuck you is really real. Mm-hmm. And not just I gotta frolic with you all night and see what's going on. When it's presented to you like that, and it's just like, yeah, man, hey, look, you're lucky that you get it. I'm not lucky for shit. First off, let's get that out the way. I've been fucking hot bitches for I'm sorry. For a long time, bro.
And I'm not editing that shit out.
That's gonna sound arrogant as shit. It is, but it's no different than the women saying like, yo, like, listen.
My pet peeve is don't tell me how to fuck your wife. Like,
I'm not mad at that.
That annoys the fuck out of me.
That.
No.
If she likes a little, fuck it to the left a little bit. She likes suck on the left tit a little more than the right tit. Let me know, so I'm not sucking on the right tit all night.
No. Let me elaborate on that. Let's get this straight. If she wanted to be fucked the way you fuck her your goddamn self. She want a different flavor, and I'm bringing a different flavor. I don't need you to give me instructions on how to fuck her, because at the end of the day, if I'm not trying to fuck her the way you did. Fuck that. I want her to get some new dick. And you telling me, oh, well, do this, do that. No. I'm not new to fucking.
Yeah.
Let me figure the shit out on my own. That's part of the fun. I mean, like, you got the cheat code. I don't want the cheat code. I want to go through the game levels and learn on my goddamn own. And then also, like, the guys who are like...
Stay right there. I'm going to ask you a quick question. And I want you to elaborate.
Go ahead.
What do you do when a husband has given you the cheat codes on his wife? You fuck her the way that you fuck, and you find out she wanted to be fucked the way you fucked her, not the way her husband told you to fuck her.
That's how I always do it.
I know.
I'm being polite and listening to the cheat codes.
When a woman goes, nah, the shit that you already do, that's what I want, not the shit my husband is talking about.
Listen, that's how it's supposed to be. Because even when I met my wife, like, you know, women are like, oh, I like this, I like that. Hey, hold on. And I've said this before. You haven't given me an opportunity to see if I have something different. Mm-hmm. Okay, right now, you like what the last 37 dudes taught you that you like.
And it's important.
Fuck that. Let me first get in here. Let me explore on my own. Let me figure this shit out. Let's because that's where all the fun is. The fun is in the exploration. Mm-hmm. The fun is in you met me. You saw me, because someone told me recently, like, there was a certain expectation she had. Before we played, she's like, you know, after being around you and listening to you, I expect a certain thing from you.
What does that mean?
My energy. There's energy,
okay.
And it's nothing like the one her husband gave her. Mm-hmm. And so after we played, she was we had a really, really good time. Mm-hmm. Now, had I gone in there and played with her, trying to copy his energy and copy what he's doing, I can only be second best if I'm trying to emulate the way your husband fuck. Mm-hmm. I can only be me. I'm the best at being me. And hey, if the things that I bring to the table with my dick, my tongue, my fingers, if all my shit ain't good, then hey, clearly we're not sexually compatible. But I'm not going in there with no fucking instruction manual. So yeah, when you go fuck her, say this and then do this and then you fuck her like that. Hey, because I've stopped having sex and asked a husband like, hey, you want to do this?
I hate that.
Fuck out of my way.
The worst part, if you're a watcher and you stand there and watch. You fucking watch.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Been fucking a long time.
If I don't do a good job and she don't want me to come back, that's fine.
Yeah. You ain't gonna win them all.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the reality. You know, like, prime example would be, and a good example for me, like, for women who love to just be pounded all night long, I'm not your best guy. Right? I'm not your best guy, because I want to feel it. I want to caress. There's going to be a change of energy. There's going to be some pounding. There's going to be some sensual shit. There's going to be some, but if all you want to do is just be pounded to smithereens all night, probably not your guy. You know what I'm saying? Because that, it's not enjoyable, man. It's not enjoyable. And I've had a situation when the husband was like, yo, just pound the smithereens. And it's just like, bro, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
Go find a dude who just want to lifelessly drill your woman. I'm not that dude.
I always, like, the thing that always cracks me up is when, you know, I'm playing with somebody's wife. I'm playing with this person's wife. And you're telling me, like, look, I want you to just go in there and absolutely destroy her. And I'm looking at her and she's looking like, oh, God, please don't. You know, like, I'm not going to go in there and destroy this poor woman. And I've said this before. You know, you're packing 5-6 inches of dick. And just because you can go in there and fuck her as hard as you possibly can, that don't mean she wants me to show up and, you know, fucking break her cervix. I'm not trying to do that. That's not pleasurable to her. And I'm paying attention to the woman who I'm on top of and inside of. And I've been playing with a woman where I've got a husband saying, yeah, fuck her harder, fuck her harder. Like my instinct, like my fighting my instinct to turn around and be like, dude, sit down and shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm paying attention to what she wants. I'm listening to the sound she's making. I'm feeling, you know, her. I feel the gate that she put up where she's pressing her hands on my hip to keep me from tearing her in half. I'm paying attention to her. Her body is saying, "Fuck my, don't beat my guts up," and you're in the background yelling, "Yeah, fuck her harder, fuck her harder." She wants her harder. She wants it deeper. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Sit down. You know, this ain't my first day. You know, you invited me over here to do what I do, and now you trying to run the show.
You invited me over because I'm the man for the job. First off, I want y'all to be clear that y'all caught Mr. Mocha his ad. I know y'all caught that ad in there. He's like, yeah, he 5 to 6 inches. That right there let you know right now up top. I'm north to 7 inches, baby. Come get me. Huh? I know what a lot of women gonna be thinking. They're like, hold on. He said your husband 5 or 6 inches. They're like, oh, so what is Mr. Mocha?
Hey, listen, man.
He said, I said, hey, listen, shameless plug. Shameless plug.
I'm 6.5.
This motherfucking line. Shameless plug.
I'm 6 and a quarter. I'm 6 and a quarter. You know what I'm saying? Calm down.
But it's the truth, man. And oftentimes, too, your woman or anybody may want a person just because they bring something different to the table. So, yeah, I'm cool. Me, personally, I'm cool with you telling me certain shit she like. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna completely change how I fuck to that. I'm gonna mix some of the shit she like into the shit that I already do, and then go from there. Where the issue comes in for a lot of these men is more about control. I can't tell you how many times we've been in situations and it's like, my wife is this, she wants this, she wants this, she wants this, she wants this, and then you get with her and she starts to see how cool you are. She's like, no, I want this, I love this. And her body reacts to you differently. And now you go, gotcha. You know what I mean? It's just a completely different scenario. Where in some of these situations where these dudes, man, they go overboard. Like I'll tell you the story about this one guy. And you're going to know the guy when I tell you this story. Mr. Mocha.
I feel like I'm going to be judging you shortly here, but please go for it.
Oh, this is a different story. They were about 2 hours away from where we live. And this guy, I never messed with his wife, but we linked on SDC. And this guy happened to be at a party where my brother, Mr. Mocha, was at. He was going to be at a party, an event where my brother was at. And I said, hey, I've never met you.
Yeah.
I said, but, man, my brother is at this event. He's a superstar. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to miss him. You know, just go and introduce yourself. And when I talk to my brother, he tells me this guy proceeds to, like, do this whole, my wife is so hot. But let me preface this and say, he was also a guy who was like, yo, my wife doesn't want a guy. She just wants you to come in and fuck and don't want you to say no words to her and this and that. And I was like, yo, I'm not doing that because that feels too much like some...
Am I getting paid for this?
Yeah, I'm not doing that, bro. First
if
off,
I'm selling dick, okay, let me know.
For any guy out there, I understand, even if your woman likes this, I can tell you this. If you're a serious single male in a life or just a male, period, when you say show up and don't say shit, most men do not like that. Because now I don't know what kind of situation I'm walking into. Right? I don't know. I'm not trying to go in some situation where you done forced a woman to be into this shit. And let me tell you something. If I ever show up to somebody's house and I get even an ounce of feeling like, yo, I'm being forced into this, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out, man.
That is not to me, that is not a good feeling and I've walked into those situations where you look at the wife and you can tell she's doing it for him. Yeah. You know something? I'm good. I don't know. I don't want no parts of this shit.
Exactly, man. It's like that because it's just like you now open yourself up to other shit that you never knew was possible.
I know a couple you're talking about. I remember now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, man. And so it's just like in his guy's eye, and let me say this too, because I know a lot of people are gonna listen to this. Boy, Q better be the finest motherfucker on planet Earth talking like how he talking. And I'm like that. I want you to know. I want you to know I'm like that. I'm just joking.
No, listen.
But honest to God, this is a situation where we're all supposed to enjoy ourselves.
Well, finish telling the story about that couple, though.
Yeah, they all want to enjoy ourselves. And this guy, he thought so highly of his wife that he thought he could just talk and say whatever to the man. It was like, yo, you just a piece of meat, come in here and do what the fuck you supposed to do. Don't say a word and get the fuck out. And I was like, nah, I'm not your guy. We ain't your guy for that. And then what's crazy is my big bro met them. I didn't even meet him. I introduced them to him because they were at an event that he was at. And he didn't met him. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, this guy, like, I was busy at the time doing some things, and this guy approached me like he just thought that I was supposed to just bow down to him and his wife.
Oh my God, you've shown up with the pussy.
No. Fuck that.
I didn't know that you'd be here.
Listen.
Let me stop all that I'm doing. Fuck out of here.
One thing about me, I'll keep it up 100,000 with you. I don't give a fuck if your wife was Holly Berry. If I get an ounce of thinking this is going to be more trouble than the more downside than upside, I'm out. Because we're all doing this for fun. We're doing this because we enjoy it.
And don't minimize me.
Yeah, don't try to shit on me.
Don't show up with your wife like you're doing me a favor or she's above me.
You're not.
Like that like don't come to me like, hey buddy, you know, you're the luckiest guy in the world. No, that's your wife.
You are the luckiest guy in the world. You're lucky. I'm just a guy.
You know something. Your dick isn't worth anything. You know, no, fuck you. I don't approach women like that. Mm-hmm. I don't go into a situation and treat any woman that I want to play with like I'm better than her. Mm-hmm. We are offering each other something of equal value. It's of equal value.
Equal trade.
Yes. So I'm going to approach you very polite, very respectfully. And you know what's crazy is I actually had a situation recently where I approached the couple. I'm just polite. Hey, how you doing? I'm Mr. Mocha, blah, blah, blah. You know, I saw your wife. Think she's gorgeous. And the wife kind of like snubbed me. Mm-hmm. So instantly I just assume, okay, you're not attracted to me.
Cool.
No problem, respectful.
That, yeah.
And the husband was actually cool. Mm-hmm. And so like I dismissed myself. Because the husband was trying to engage in conversation, but she clearly snubbed me. Mm-hmm. So the husband came up to me later like, hey, my wife really likes you. And I was like, you know, no offense, but she just didn't seem like she did. Oh, well, you know, she likes you, but, you know, so I'm like, well.
She wants you to fucking jump through hoops and shit?
No, the thing was, you know, she likes guys to do a little work for her. And so now, you know, my instant, what Mrs. Mocha refers to as my dicktude, almost kicked in. And I was like, no offense. No offense and no disrespect to you or your wife. Because I think she's a very attractive lady. I came to you humbly and respectfully at an event where there are multiple attractive women. Something that I would recommend, and I'm not going to play with your wife. Not at this event, maybe another one, but I would recommend you explain this to her with no disrespect intended. I'm a person who does not like the feel of rejection, just like everyone else. I walked up to her respectfully. I spoke to you first. I spoke to her. I said in her earshot that I found her very attractive, and she snubbed me. Mm-hmm. And now you're coming to me and telling me that she's attracted to me, but she expects me to do a little more work. If she wants it, clearly I'm not her type. No, you are her type. No, sir, I am not her type. Because if she's looking for a guy like me,
who don't do that shit,
I don't do that. I didn't come to her I didn't come to you like, hey, you and your wife should bow down to my penis. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But this is what she did to me. oh no, listen, I mean, I'll talk to her, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, there's no need at that point.
No, there's no need.
Yeah, I'm not trying to force nothing.
And now here's the thing. Throughout the rest of the event, her and I had different interactions where we kind of ran into each other. And she made eye contact. She's very humble. Like, there was times where we were speaking in a group and she was trying to get my attention. But at this point, I'm extremely turned off by you because who the fuck are you? I have never, ever thought of myself that way. For the most part, if a woman is trying to approach me and say and play with me, if I'm not giving her that same energy, it's because I'm politely trying to decline her. Mm-hmm. If it's a woman who I am attracted to, I am going, even if I can't play with you right now or at this event, I'm going to make it very clear to you, I am attracted to you. And there's no woman, I don't do that. Like, I don't tell a woman, oh, I find you attractive and I want to play with you, who I don't.
No.
We may not be able to play this event, but you damn sure don't have to do backflip for me.
Yeah.
And I'll be goddamned if I do it for you.
All you have to do is be receptive and have a normal conversation. That, like, the hardest thing for me in the lifestyle is sometimes where you see people lose the human element of why we're in the lifestyle, right? You can be a person that's like, yo, just like if it would take the lifestyle out of it and we were all just regular humans. If I came up to you and I had an attraction to you, then I'll start a conversation with you and I'll build with you. And then at that point we go to each other and we say, well, we don't say, oh, you're attracted. We look at each other and go like, oh, okay. We all know, like, yo, I'm going to take this person home because we've been talking all night. This and this has been fun. It's been a good time. We've been drinks. It's this, that, whatever the third. What trips me up is when you have husbands who, because they love their wife so much, they try to impart that on you and try to make the reasons why they're infatuated with her be the reason, and then try to make you infatuated with her. It's clear and must be understood. As a single male, you should never. This is my opinion. Let me say that because I hate when I say something. I don't want to say like something as an absolute. But to me, you should never have some infatuation with somebody else's wife or somebody else's woman, because you'll create a false reality for yourself. You'll tell yourself that you're more important than you really are. For me, anything that's not mine, I don't have any false perceptions on what I'm dealing with. I'm there to be an addition, a tool to their situation, and I'm there to also provide I don't want to say relief, but provide to be a subset. You know what I mean? But the minute where it's like your wife is the woman that's mean mugging people in the party because she thinks that like I'm just so hot that people have to. You need to be outside putting air in my tires and all this other stuff before we leave the party so you can fuck me. I'm not doing that. And when I see a line of dudes doing goofy shit to try to get with one chick, that shit makes me go the furthest away. Yeah. Which ironically will end up making you get the ass. Because I'm like, yo, why aren't you all over my wife? It's because I've been around hot women before and I know how to act. Mm-hmm. And I also know that any woman who likes me just like how I like them, they're not going to do all that shit. Exactly. And they're not going to require for me to do all of that. They're going to require for me to be human, to have a conversation, to be able to talk, to be able to not just be like, oh, I just want some ass. They're going to require that. But they're not going to require for me to tell you, you know.
And don't get me wrong, there are definitely some women out there and some couples who want you to jump through hoops. Yeah. And the one thing that I've stressed to so many couples, because, you know, I've had conversations with couples who's like, oh yeah, my wife likes a guy like you. No, she doesn't like a guy like me because I'm simple. I'm direct. We're adults. We're at a party. Mm-hmm. Or we're reaching out to each other online. It's, hey, I find you physically attractive. Now, where do we go from here? It's not, I don't expect some guy to court my wife. That's not my expectation. I don't expect the guy to see my wife the way I see my wife. I expect, if I find a guy who finds my wife attractive, because I don't think somebody's going to find my wife as attractive as I find her, and I don't need him to. Mm-hmm. My wife wants someone to have fun with, a playmate, someone who's going to make her feel a certain way. So if you can do that, I'm not going to tell you how to fuck her. I'm going to tell you what not to do.
But that's the most important thing. You just said it. You said she's going to want somebody to fuck her a certain way. She's going to want... To me, the personality of the people you meet is what make... I've met women that are, I would say, like, on a scale of what I would like, not the most hottest, but they definitely weren't crappy. So let me just say that. But their personality made them hotter than a woman that I would be more attracted to physically, because their personality was so cool and their husband was so cool. How many times do we talk like, yo, the first thing, I swear, which is crazy.
Oh shit, hold on a second, little bro, hold on a second.
But no, like, there's a thing, man. There's a thing there where it just has to be like, everybody wants cool people around them. Imagine this, right? Imagine you're a couple. Imagine you're a single woman or a single guy. If you're a single woman, right, and then a dude you meet is like, oh, well, you need to do this, and my wife needs to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. You would say, I don't have to. Everything comes down to what you have to and don't have to do. And in most women's case, they don't ever have to do that. You know why? Because somebody's gonna fuck them regardless. Mm-hmm. Right? Somebody's gonna do it. And for me and you, it's like, I can pick and choose. I don't have to. I'm not, especially at parties, man. I'm not going to go out of my way. Now, there's a difference between being respectful and doing some things doing some shit that's just like out of the damn norm. Or if like you want me to text your wife every day for an opportunity. Or it's like, nah, I'm okay. Yeah. I'm all right, man. Listen, I done turned some shit down. I've not gotten some shit. And I was fine when I woke up the next day. So let me ask you this. Let's just, and also I want this to be informal. Like, I want people to know why we feel so strongly about this. So when a scenario comes, what goes through your brain when you see a dude, when you write a message on SDC or you meet somebody in public and they go, yo, my wife wants you to jump through all these hoops?
I don't do it.
I'm saying, what do you feel? What do you think? And then what do you say?
What am I thinking?
What do you think? And
Go
then
fuck
what do you
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How do I respond to it? If it's online, then I'm not gonna do it. But if it's face to face, first things first. This really only applies in situations where I find the wife attractive and I do want to play with her, but the husband or the wife has turned me off. Mm-hmm. Jasmine popping in is a wonderful example of how it's supposed to be. Husband, cool as a motherfucker. Just showed up, cool, calm, made me comfortable. She's super attractive, not aggressive. Made me, gave me the opportunity where I understood. We established quickly that we were mutually attracted, but there was no pressure at that moment. He didn't come at me like, oh, you need to lower yourself to have to even talk to my wife. I was able to have a great conversation with him, where I like to establish that the husband is not going to be problematic later. He's not going to be problematic. He's not going to get insecure. He's not going to get jealous. I also like to establish, oftentimes, especially depending upon my level of attraction with the female, if I find her very attractive, I want to be able to see that she respects me. Mm-hmm. She doesn't put herself above or beneath me. Mm-hmm. She sees, we're offering each other an equal thing. Mm-hmm. And I know that sounds super simple and that's what it should be. But when you have these husbands saying, oh, you're lucky that she likes you. Why the fuck am I lucky? Like, how would you feel if I walked up to you and said... She's not the only woman that likes me. Yeah, but how would you as a husband feel if I walked up and be like, hey, dude, your wife's in luck. I want to give her my dick. If somebody said that to me, I might kick him in the chest. Get the fuck out of here. Like, fuck you mean? Like, but husbands will do it quick. Or husbands will will talk to you
like you hit the lotto.
Yeah, bro, I didn't hit the fucking lotto. Like we're both equal. Like
that's a turnoff, man.
Yeah. And then you have these guys who will be like, man, you know, we can never really find good guys for my wife. Yeah, because you fuck it up.
Yeah, that happens more than not. Or one of the times where, because you and I experience this a lot just because we're cool people. When the wife will tell you, like, yeah, you know, I hate how this guy, how he does this or does that. And you like, well, it's like, hey, you know what? He's trying to look out for you. Or when you talk to a husband, it feels like he's trying to look out for himself. That's the worst. When it's like he's telling you to do shit that he wants to see done to her, and she's sitting back there like, yo, this is not my thing. This is your thing.
No shit.
Like,
my favorite is like, hey, why don't you see if she'll let you stick it in her ass? Like,
what? That's a tall order.
What?
That's not some shit you just do to somebody.
Like, nah, I'm not about to ask her.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Like, listen, I don't have nothing against you thinking the world of your woman. But also know that, like, I don't have to fuck your woman just like she don't have to fuck me. She's going to be, if you got, and this is what happens, because I think that so many men will come after their woman that they have the pick of the litter that they think that they could just talk to anybody any kind of way. And I think us as principled people, not just a lifestyle people, just as principled people, you can't talk to us, period, any kind of way on anything. No. Let alone that. Yeah. So now it becomes like you know what, man, let me let you find exactly what you're looking for. And oftentimes those women hate those partners and then hence relates to the guy saying, we can't find a male. Because you have, through your process of elimination and how you do shit, have found her a weak guy. She don't want a weak guy. Mm-hmm. And now she's been fucking nothing but weak guys because the dudes who are strong ain't going for that. They're like, look, it's more trouble than it's worth. There's way more downside than upside. So rather than do that, I'm just going to go about my business, find somebody where there's more upside.
Yeah, the stronger the guy, the less complicated he is. Mm-hmm. If you reach out to me on SDC and go, hey, I saw your profile, I like your profile, my wife likes you, and I say, oh, wow, I saw your profile, your wife's attractive, I like her too. If you say, cool, how about we do a phone call? All right, let's do a phone call. All right, on that phone call, I want to be able to hear that you actually have a real woman with you and that she's not being coerced into this. Once that happens, you know, I want to set up an opportunity to meet. If you want to do a video chat to make sure I look like my photos, I'm good with that, vice versa. But then this is what happens. The concept that somebody, because there's some husband usually somewhere looking at your photos, imagining what it's going to be like for you to fuck his wife, and he's asking you dumbass questions. How are you going to fuck my wife? I don't know.
Until I get there.
I don't know what the energy is, what the vibe is. I don't know what she likes. I don't know what she's going to inspire for me. Like, all of these things, I can't tell you how I'm going to fuck your wife until I'm actually on top of her. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't tell you what because chemistry is a thing that is going to happen when we all get together. So let's go ahead and skip through the bullshit. So the easier the transition from message or meeting to actually, you know, more intimate interactions, the simpler usually means the more experienced the guy. Mm-hmm. Because I don't require anything complicated. There's a physical attraction to talking, and now the next step is we're in a position where we can establish a chemistry. You know, it's not complicated. And as soon as people make it complicated, you know, look, we need to talk on 3 different sites. Yeah. You know, listen, I'll tell you what, buddy, why don't you talk to my wife? You know, she doesn't know who you are yet, but what I'm going to have you do is I want you to try to see if you can get her. Whoa, bro, buddy, no. You know, me and your wife, if we can talk, but that's after we've already established we're interested. It's not my job to make your wife interested in the lifestyle or interested in me.
That's some bullshit too. That's another thing to get some shit flatlined. If I find out that you trying to get her into the lifestyle, nah. Y'all got to make that decision to be dedicated to get in already, and then if I happen to be your first guy, cool. But I'm not here to convince somebody to get in. No, that is not my job. That's between you guys because that's an intimate thing. That's a conversation. There's a reason why you have or you haven't, and only y'all know that reason.
Way too much work.
Only y'all know that reason, and that's not to say I want people to think about this. just like how your woman wants to know that the guy is lusting after her, dudes want to know that too. It's not just a one-way street. It's not just like oh yeah, I'm just showing up as a worker to come in here and please your wife. It's like, nah, What makes the sex better is when the connection is there, or when the attraction is there, or when the that moxie is there. When it ain't there, it's just a waste of fucking time. It's just sitting up there like, yo, me personally, I enjoy being around women that is like fun to be around, that are hot, that just chicks that just sit there like wall ornaments. It's like, I'm so hot that everyone just needs to come up to me and kiss my feet.
Yeah, no.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I too want to be desired. I mean, I want.
Yeah, if I don't get a sense of like this shit is mutual, I'm out. I don't give a fuck what your husband says.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of times too that shit happens. Or a lot of husbands will set their wives up for failure.
Oh yeah.
They'll get on that hype train.
Oh yeah.
And then you like, this is the hype you've been building up?
Yeah. Yeah.
This shit is some mid.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what mid means, medium. Mediocre.
Mid-grade.
Mediocre.
Not
Mid-grade.
the top of the line.
Middle. Not at the front, not in the back. Just the middle. Average. What they said, math? Medium.
Hey, listen.
Medium and average is different, but it's the same shit.
Hey, listen. Nothing near what you have sold it as.
Yeah. Like now you done put your lady on a huge cliff to fall off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And because put yourself in the other shoes. Imagine a wife selling a husband to you as a woman, and she telling you he's got the biggest dick. Oh yeah, he's sensual as fuck. Every time he touches you, you're gonna get all tingly. He's kissing on your neck, biting your ears, nibbling on your ears, all that shit. He's rubbing your feet, rubbing your legs, insides of your thigh. He's doing all that shit that you like. He's this and that, and then you meet him.
Hot 37 seconds.
And he's a fucking 20-second killer. Let me tell you something. I'd rather not know something was coming, and then when it comes, it surprises me, than me to have super high expectations for something, and then when I get there now, because I'm expecting so much, I can only be let down. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And hot for and here's one thing that I've learned for a long time: hot is different for everybody. I've been told, "Oh, you think the women I like ain't shit." I've said this. I'm like, "Oh, you like that? Okay, hey, to each his own, man." Oh yeah, because you know the women I like, they be trash, huh? I'm like, no, I'm not saying the women you like trash. We all like what we like. But if you are a fool, if you don't think that there are some people that are universally hot to everyone, that's how you know that there's a difference. There's some women or men you'll meet, and there's, oh, if I'm black, I like that person. Or if I'm white, I like that person. Or if I'm liberal, I like that person. Or if I'm Republican, I like that. But then there's some motherfuckers you meet, and it is undeniable. If I look at a white guy, if I look at an Asian guy, if I look at a Spanish guy, if I look at a guy who can't speak English, and we all go, we look at each other, give each other that nod, like,
yeah, if she
says to any one of us, it's on, we're taking it.
Yeah.
That is why you know there's universal hotness.
Yeah, there's some
universal hotness out there.
Okay, I like this. Jasmine, clearly we have to clear the air. She said, I wanted you to make it fit.
Oh, God.
Since Houston 22. But for some reason, I thought Splash Bulls were off limit. Jasmine, I'm going to make it fit.
Oh, God.
Remember, that was your idea. I'm going to make it all fit.
He plugged himself in.
Hey.
Once again. Look at him.
Hey, look, she said it, not me. She said
Jasmine,
it, not me.
you plugging him in.
Hey, listen. Oh, I'm going to make it fit.
He said, trust me.
Well,
it's gonna get nice and snug up in there.
Look, I've heard that it's hard to get in, so you know,
it's a hard.
I like a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy with a challenge.
You got to squeeze in, then fall in.
No, yeah. Amen to that. I'd rather squeeze in than fall in.
I'd rather squeeze in than fall in any day.
Yeah, no, Jasmine, I am definitely, I'm definitely on the table. You know, and I'll put you on the bed.
Or wherever else.
Oh, yeah, wherever else I can put you.
Wherever else.
She only about 4 feet tall, so, you know, she gonna yell at me for that one. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. What's your saying, little bro? What's your little saying, your little slogan that you always be using?
Are we being real or are we being fake?
Yeah, that means he about to say some bullshit.
No, I don't mean that. It just means that I wanted the permission to keep it 1,000 with you versus me just... Because a lot of people just want to hear you. They just want you to listen to them versus you actually give an opinion. So when I say, are we being real or are we being fake? I'm like, do you just want me to listen to you and nod? Or do you want me to just keep it 100% honest with you?
So, once again, we appreciate you joining the Ofacez podcast. This segment is the cutting board. And remember, the cutting board is a place for you to hear men in a lifestyle talk unfiltered, the way we talk when you're not there to hear. If you enjoy the podcast, please check us out. Please go and give us a review. And you can find us wherever you get your podcast. Ofacez, Ofacez. Until next time, goodbye from Ofacez.
That shit just like a pool, let me swim in it. And when we're all done, fall asleep with me.